Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Anime Freak here, and on the night I'm recording this is 11:23 p.m. Monday, June 10th, and that is this is the official end to the first day of E3. Now this is the day where most of the press conferences have been done. The big ones anyway. Tomorrow is Nintendo's. I'll give my view on that tomorrow after I watch it, but I figured I'd get this out first. Now, as many of you may know, I am a console elitist, per se. Not that I won't play PC games. In fact, most of my videos are based off of PC games, but that's only because I just don't have a capture card right now at this point in time. But if I did, I'd be doing console games too. But we both had two of the biggest console makers in the world. One of the Elite Three. We had Sony and Microsoft do their press conference. I'd like to start off with Microsoft in the fact that I am a fan of theirs. Microsoft products in general, just all of Microsoft. But I'm a big fan of the Xbox. And kind of lean into Sony, which shocked the crap out of me. But more on that later. First, let's start with simple, easy. Let's start with Microsoft. Let me click that off. Okay. Microsoft. What they did right and what they did wrong. What did they do right? They showed just mainly games. And I think they did that really well. I think they did what they needed to and showed games. They looked very interesting. Titanfall, you know, we know there's a new Halo coming. We don't know what type of Halo. We don't know if it's Halo 5. We know Halo 5's coming, but we don't know if it's Halo 5 specifically or if it's some side story or something like that. You never know. They showed just an array of, you know, they showed more Quantum Break. They showed just a bunch of games that we really needed to help energize. They needed to help energize them. Then they gave the price of the console, which was $499, $500. Surprisingly, there was no subscription one or anything like that. If they are going to do it, we'll find out in the future, in the later days. Right now, we don't know. But as far as I know, every Xbox One will be $500. It's a little bit high, especially after what's Sony dropped when they dropped a bombshell on top of us. Which I just finished watching that a while back, and I'm still trying to take that in, so that's why I want to do this now. But other than that, I think Microsoft did a really good job of conveying their games. They kind of went in and said, here's the exclusives we have to the Xbox. We know we know you're gonna love them. We know you're gonna want to play them. Here's how much it costs to play them. They dipped into a little bit on Xbox Live with the different, you know, how that's going to work out. One thing I thought was really cool is that you can have Xbox Live Gold membership, and it's per console instead of per account anymore, which I thought that was really cool. But other than that, you know, most of everything console-wise we found out beforehand. You know, they just came out and got all that out of the way, all the junk we don't really want to hear about. Now let's go over to Sony and what they did that shocked the world. Now we already knew what Xbox's used game criteria was. We knew what they were going to do, and Sony just came out and basically said, nah, we're not going to do that. There's no change with used games. You buy it, you can keep it forever, you can trade it to your friend, you could sell it back if you want, doesn't matter. Now let's start off with that. Is it good that they did it? From a market standpoint, I think it is, but I also think it's a bad idea, because you're taking a rule that Microsoft has kind of set up where the publisher can decide and make the decisions, and kind of going, nah, we'll just go with the let the consumer make the decisions. The problem with that is, which one's going to make the developer more money? Now you need to remember, these big game developers and most game developers, they don't get into a game company they don't start game companies and develop games to, just because they want to develop games. They do it because they want to develop games, they love making games, they want to make games, they love video games, but they want to make money doing it. It's about making money. You got to remember that. So Microsoft kind of has the upper hand, possibly, but it's really going to come down to personal preference. I think by the end of it, most gamers just won't really tell the difference. The fanboys are going to go with whatever they want, and then the rest of them it's going to be a 50-50 split either way. No PlayStation. No checking in online every 24 hours. Offline is offline, period. You can play games whenever. I'm shocked as hell at that. Sony, I gotta give you the upper hand on that. You really, I applaud you. That was you see I'm clapping into the mic right now. I applaud you. That's a really gutsy thing to do, to come out and say, and I applaud you for not kind of going down Microsoft's paranoid ranting type, because Microsoft, honest to God, is kind of paranoid with it, and leaving it at that. Possible issues: PlayStation's always been the most pirated and hackable consoles in the world. I do wish them the best of luck. I know I'm probably going to pick up a PS4 just because it's a freaking PS4. And I like to play on I like to try to play on all consoles. Sony went in with the Vita. The Vita looks awesome. I want to get a Vita anyway because it's a Vita. But they went in and showed a lot of games. They showed a little bit of media. I kind of tuned that out for a little while. Just did something else on YouTube while it was playing in the background. They got down into hardcore games. Shadowfall. Killzone Shadowfall, Second Son, those two look amazing. The new IPs and the indie games that they're going to bring look amazing. I think at this point we're kind of in a dead heat on which is going to take over, because Sony's looking like the freaking golden boy right now. It's $100 cheaper. The price point was set at $400 or $399 American dollars. And they're looking like the golden boy right now. They did announce that multiplayer online, you will have to have PlayStation Plus, but I'm okay with that. I've always kind of thought Sony needed something like that to protect its online infrastructure, because if you remember, like a year or two back, when it got completely destroyed all of summer, you couldn't play online on servers because for the whole summer the online servers was down. So I do give it to Sony for kind of going a little bit further and saying, well, maybe we should put some money into it and charge something for it so we can have some money in it and try to protect ourselves. So kudos to them for that. That's something I've always kind of wanted Sony to do, because I'm willing to put the money in it if it gives me a good service. Because if you don't have the money to get Xbox Live Gold, you don't have the money to get, PlayStation Plus. So either way, you're not going to play multiplayer games no matter which console you choose. And I mean, there's some people that don't care. PlayStation always had the upper hand because it was free, but then you always had games hacked day one, aimbots, and even the newest games were just screwed up within a week or a month after launch because people just figured out how to worm their way in there and mess it up. So having that little extra layer of protection is always kind of nice to me. Again, the biggest bombshell was no online checking or anything, and I know definitely they were jabbing at Microsoft with this. So some things that Sony did wrong, and some things that Microsoft did wrong. I think Microsoft what they universally did wrong was the online DMR. I don't have a problem with it, but I have broadband. I get my internet service through Time Warner. I live on the East Coast, so I'm perfectly fine with that. I think there's going to be a lot of people across the country that are going to have problems with that, because I know some people that don't have internet at all, or they have dial-up. And if you're still working on dial-up, I don't know how the hell you're watching this video right now. But kudos to you, sir, for being, or madam, for being freaking, dedicated, dude. Because that's impressive. But I can kind of see why Sony did what they did. I can kind of see why Microsoft did what they did. So the bad things Sony kind of did, some of their worst points, I think. The PlayStation 4 looks like a friggin' panini press to me. Like Cuisinart or something, where you just put the toast in and press it down. Design perspective, it looks bad, but then again, the Xbox One looks like a friggin' VCR. Honestly, Sony's looking more and more like it's going to have a bigger impact. How that goes for the long run in game development, I don't know. Because right now, it seems like Microsoft's catering more to developers, and Sony's catering more to the players. Now, how does that affect it? Well, you could go as, since Microsoft's catering more to the developers and their processing and their pockets, more developers are going to want to do it for the Xbox. But then again, more people are going to want to go for Sony, because they're catering, since Sony and the PlayStation is catering to the player more so than the developer. More people are going to want to go to Sony and the PlayStation 4, and I think at some point it's just going to even itself out. Do I think there's going to be a price drop for the Xbox One? Without a freaking doubt. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised within a month or two after there will be a price drop. Trust me, that price will go down like that. I wouldn't be surprised if they're already debating right now at Xbox, should we lower the price? Should we lower the price? Should we lower the price? Because Sony shocked the world with that $100 cheaper, and that's a big thing. To me, it doesn't make that much of a difference. Reason being, Microsoft kind of has more of the type of games I want to play. So I'm going to get an Xbox One no matter what. I'm going to get a PlayStation 4 no matter what. Do I want to play Destiny on PlayStation 4 over the Xbox One? Definitely, because Destiny's going to have more content. Do I want to play Call of Duty and Battlefield 4 on the Xbox, or on the Xbox One over the PS4? Definitely, because I can get the maps quicker. I can get the gameplay. I am accustomed to doing it anyway. The controller is so much better on the Xbox One. I think at some point these two just need to merge together and make one friggin' machine and just conquer the fucking world, but that ain't gonna happen anytime soon. And here's Nintendo just in the background like, yeah, I'm just gonna stick with my toy. No, I love you, Nintendo. How does this all speaking of Nintendo, how does this all relate to the Wii U? The Wii U is the Wii U. Okay, just don't even try to compare them. It's the Wii U. It is the Wii U. You're going to buy it. You're going to love it. Everyone's going to own it. Just like the Wii. Everyone has a Wii. I don't have a Wii. But I'm weird. In fact, I didn't buy my Xbox until my 18th birthday. I never owned a 360 or any Xbox device before that. I owned a GameCube. I wasn't that much of a gamer for a little while. Kind of fell out of it. I owned a PSP, but that was about it. Oh, and a couple different Game Boy DS's. I was mostly into handhelds for a while, but Nintendo's kind of like, yeah, we're not trying. We're going to be in our own little world developing games for our little console that people are going to love and our audience is going to love. Go have your war, Sony and Nintendo, or Microsoft and Sony. Go have your little war, fight it. Nintendo's just gonna sit off to the side, and I think that they're the smartest out of all of them. Nintendo's just like, we don't want to compete. We're not trying to compete. Just fuck it. We just want to make the games. We just want to have people play our games. PS4, Xbox One, fight. At the end of the day, we're just gonna emerge on top victorious in console sales, because we're all just trying. Because it is pretty much true, everyone's just trying to escape the Wii at this point, or the Wii U. Nintendo always seems to do that. So, which one would I buy first? Because I'm gonna get both, but which one would I go for first? Price-wise, I'd go for PS4. Game-wise, I'd go for Xbox One. It really comes down to your personal choice. I'm not gonna tell you which one to go for. I'm gonna tell you which one I'm gonna try to go for, and that's gonna be the Xbox One. Simply because I am a gigantic Call of Duty fan, and Halo fan, and Battlefield fan, and FPS fan in general, and Xbox has more FPSs on it. Do I know Destiny's gonna be on it? Yes. Would I pick up Destiny for the Xbox One if that's all I have at the time? Definitely. Am I gonna try to get a PS4 and Destiny on it? Hell yes. Because I also love JRPGs, and that's pretty much Sony's territory. Also Nintendo, but again, Nintendo's off in the corner just playing with its 3DS, just going, screw you guys, I'm just gonna sit here and play games. On the flip side, I know my friend Mal, he's gonna go for the PS4 first. Why? Because it's catering. There's more the type of games he wants to play on it. Plus, it's a bit cheaper. Now, he's even said I'm getting an Xbox One, simply probably because of Halo and a couple other games that he has seen and he thinks looks good and he would like to play. But what it comes down to is, at the end of the day, me and him, we're both going to buy both. We're just going to get both. Okay, we both right now have Xboxes. We don't have PS3s. We have PS2s. But we're probably just going to both get both for the foreseeable future. The DMR stuff, I think people will stop complaining about after a while. The price point, I don't think anyone's going to care until they get their hands on it. And then people will make real decisions. E3 is not the final deciding point. It's the final deciding point November, or the fall this year, when they finally come out. And it's going to be, well, who's going to, which one are you going to go for? Honestly, again, I'm leaning towards Microsoft, but again, that's me because of the types of games they have on there. And I know Call of Duty and Battlefield both cross-platform on PS4 too, but I prefer them on Xbox because I'm getting exclusive stuff first from the Xbox, and that's one big enticement. And like the game Titanfall, and there's just, I'm gonna go Microsoft first. Mal's gonna go PS4 first, Sony first. Either way, I'm just gonna get both. In my opinion, I think Sony came out swinging for the first time in a long time. They came out ahead at E3 or any console thing for the first time in a long time. They've managed to be the top dog at the beginning. So kudos to Sony. I congratulate you. You kick ass. It's nice to see you just say, screw it, we screwed up with the PS3. We admit it. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do it better, and we're going to do it for you guys. So, kudos to them, really. I mean, congratulations, Sony. As a Microsoft fanboy, I congratulate you greatly. I mean, you've done what we never expected. You literally took what we expected and went, meh, threw it out the window and said, we're going to do it the way we always do it. Epically. So, Sony, I congratulate you. Microsoft, step your ass up. Though your press conference did good, Sony kind of kicked you in the nuts there with a big low blow, price value wise, and online DMR wise. I'll have more on this subject later. It's just, I just got off of watching it. I've been on my ass for at least 12 hours today covering all this and watching it all and staying in tune with it. I just wanted to make this somewhat quick little video to put out there my opinion. I think Sony's really doing what they need to do to try to get back on top and try to be on top. I think Microsoft's going to take some very heavy hits, from this, and going to take, a lot of beatings over the next couple of years from it. But I think in the end we're going to end up with two of the best gaming consoles we've ever seen. The most advanced. And by the way, you PC elitists out there can kiss my ass, because I guarantee you these things are going to be better than anything you could cook up for the next 5 years. After that, you'll probably be better than us and be beating our ass, and we'll be riding on your coattails for a while. Do I give a shit? No. But my point of view is it's always kind of been the same thing, especially with this console generation, consoles come out, stand on top, and then halfway stand on top for the longest period of time, and then closer to the end of the life cycle, the PC slowly creeps up and becomes better and better and better because they're constantly adapting. New console generation comes out, beats the shit out of PC, and then in a couple years, PC stands back on top. And then at some eventual point, hopefully, if God willing, we all just merge it together and just build one unique box. I don't care who builds it, just as long as it's not Steam. But I'll make a video on why I detest Gabe Newell and Valve. That will just get PC, all the good aspects of a PC that we love, where you can switch things in and out and upgrade things, and all the aspects of consoles that we love, where you can, I'm sorry, my brain just went dead there, where you can know that no matter how new the game is, or how old your piece of hardware is, when you pop the game in, it will run. And it will run at the highest quality it can. I'd love to see that. Do I think it will happen anytime soon? No. No, I think Sony and Microsoft just need to kill each other off first, and then collaborate. Who knows? Nintendo will probably do it more than any one of those bastards. Are crazy. You know they gotta be working. You know Nintendo's working on something huge. Not the Wii U, but something big, like the GameCube 2. Like they're toiling away over in Japan, like mad freaking scientists, making a little Godzilla-shaped console that will slowly but incredibly multiply and take over the living rooms of the world. Look at the Wii. That shit was like a bad STD. It was like herpes. Once one person got it, everyone got it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm done comparing consoles to STDs and going on what probably is a little bit of a rant. I'm slightly tired. I've taken in a lot of information, but I just want to kind of sum it up. Sony basically shot off the largest firework this year, and it's come out on top of E3. Microsoft had some bad ideas that aren't really ever going to be good ideas, but have seemingly catered more to developers as to where Sony has seemingly catered more to players. How that's going to affect them, the internet, I know, is going to be a buzz with people, bitching and complaining and screaming and hating and blah blah blah. It's the internet, screw you guys. What it's going to come down to is not those vocal jackasses that are the smallest piece of minority. It's going to come down to people like me or Mao, or people who will not scream their fanboyism to the top of their lungs, who just want a console that will play games and will have the games they want to play. And that's what it's going to come down to. It's not going to come down to who can watch TV or Netflix better on their device, which I undoubtedly believe that at some point Sony will offer cable through it. But it's going to come down to the games. Who has the more games, who has the better games, and who has the games that people want to buy. And in America, that's Xbox. In Japan, that's Sony. Will the no DMR and used game policy be enough to have Sony become huge worldwide? I don't know. Vice versa, will Xbox have the amount of games and uses that will succeed the bad DMR and the bad used game policy? I don't know. All I know is right now that we have two consoles, and the unmovable object being Xbox and the unstoppable force being PlayStation, heading to collide into each other. And they're just gonna collide sometime this fall. So the real decisive winner of it won't be shown until probably a year or two after they come out. But honestly, what I think it's going to come down to is, do you care about, if you're able to, do you care about whether it has to be connected every 24 hours to play your games? Do you really care about it? Because if the answer is yes, you're going to buy Sony no matter what. You're going to go PlayStation no matter what. If the answer is no, you're probably going to go Xbox. So, either way, it's just 50-50. It's just the possibilities are endless, and it's hard to say right now. In the end, Nintendo's probably going to be standing on top. You know, just the winner in this all, just laughing their asses all the way to the bank. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Anime Freak. E3, man, it's some heavy shit. It's been big. It's been epic. Again, congratulations, Sony. You did something that no one thought you would do. You did the complete opposite of what we thought you would do. Microsoft, you need to step your asses up. You've already told us you have basically always online DMR, or a form of it. Now, show us why we should deal with that. Alright? In the coming years, you need to show us why we should deal with the weird restricted use game policy, and the weird online, why we should go out of our ways to get better internet connections and get better, internet, and try to, you need to show us why we should go for you. Because if you live in a place that can't get good internet, like can't get cable internet or broadband internet, because you're so far out there they haven't even bothered to lay fiber cables, you're gonna go Sony no matter what. But for those of you who can get better internet or have access to it, Microsoft, you need to show us why we should even bother. Why we shouldn't just go Sony instantly. Okay? Again, this has been Anime Freak, bringing you this random late night video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.